I'm Amy. This is Kate. Welcome to our workshop. We've been working together going on 16 years, shooting magazine covers, interior stories, books.
And now we're a design duo. We decided to open up shop and create an interior design business. Today we're gonna show you how to make a beautiful host and hostess gift to bring to your next party.
We're gonna show you our 3 takes on a perfect host or hostess gift.
One of them is teacups with some loose tea, beautiful aroma tea.
Second one, the vintage container with a bouquet of herbs in it.
And the third one is a beautiful loaf of bread on an old cutting board. We really want to give good ideas of things that maybe you already have even existing in your home. Just a really beautiful thing to say thank you. So first up, here are all our supplies that we pulled for these beautiful tea boxes that we would love to gift to a host or hostess. It all kind of starts with the teacups, right?
Yeah.
These are so beautiful. We have such a variety.
I mean,
not only beautiful, vintage, like very classic teacups, but we also have all these little mid-century fun. I don't even know where I got this from, but I love it so much.
Beautiful, loose tea. We've chosen for the color, the texture, the size.
The scent. We really wanted there to be variety. And then we chose this, but this is what inspired it, this beautiful box, but we have lots of boxes and
different sizes.
Right.
We found this at a flea market. Look at how beautiful this is. I love, it tells a story on the outside already. The patina, the age, the decorative details. Some padding for the teacups.
Padding. Yep. We could have chose a lot of things. Like there's...
You could do newspaper.
Newspaper, which is beautiful.
Yep.
You can do tissue paper, just kind of folded neatly. It depends on if you like things a little more buttoned up or loose. And a little bit of ribbon.
And that's it, really.
Yeah.
Let's pick our tea. So, I like the rose.
Yeah.
I love the tone. I love the weight of it. And I think it's gonna be beautiful with my teacups and box.
Okay.
So,
mine is a summer tea, which I absolutely love. Let's grab a cellophane bag because you open your box and immediately
you see
the beauty of this gorgeous loose tea, which is so fun. And I love the idea of putting a couple of the little dried oranges in it.
I'm gonna take a darker one.
Yeah,
so
I like
my
that.
palette just stays.
It's a
And
little
look at how it
richer.
just breaks the surface.
I love this.
Now that we have our tea and our little dried oranges, it is time to tie them up. What kind of ribbon? Let's do this beautiful ribbon you brought.
Right.
I want to add a little contrast.
Mine is a little more monochromatic. This little bit of gold in the ribbon. I love with the gold bits in the tea too. So even this in itself is a lovely little gift.
I know, we're done.
I love this. Look how beautiful this is. All right.
Time to pick a box.
You love this one, right?
Thank you.
And I really love this beautiful little tin. It's so pretty.
I love the patina on this.
I love the size of this. I know I'm gonna get 4 cups.
You can hold a lot more merchandise than I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna get 4 teacups in here really beautifully and my tea, but don't get so caught up on necessarily what you're gonna put them in. But if you collect things like this and you have them and you know that you wanna gift it, it's perfect.
Time to put our filler in.
Yeah.
And this is so beautiful, wood shavings.
Yeah,
And we chose these because they're natural and the color is kind of that muted natural color that looks good with all the tones that we have. I'm gonna choose these.
Yeah.
I love these. These are these old transferware English. These are so
gorgeous.
beautiful. So I'm gonna choose these 4.
I personally love the idea of using these more modern teacups.
Which I love with this vintage box.
and this vintage box. It's sort of that push and pull that
And look
Amy
at
and
the
I love.
tones of that.
So beautiful, right? So I'm gonna pack it a little differently.
I'm gonna put some in between the cups.
Yeah. I like this. It sort of feels a little bit like a lunchbox.
Ooh, that looks really pretty.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Look at how amazing that turned out. Mine is definitely done.
Yeah, mine's
I love
packed.
It. Packed up. Ooh, I love it. I love that it feels very random and
So my tea bag needs to fit in here, but I was gonna do something. I was gonna take a few of these.
Oh, and make them, I like that idea.
You know, and just, because
Sprinkle.
they're
That's
large.
so pretty.
Just
I
have
like
them
it.
random.
I love it. The last thing, and we've used our ribbon, but you can always tie too. One last little accoutrement.
I love how the tones go together.
There you go. And then you walk in, see your lovely host or hostess.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, and there you go.
Next up, I'm so excited. We're gonna do herb bouquets in a vintage container.
This is where you wish you could have scratch and sniff on your TV.
I know. People, go pick some herbs and join us in a minute.
Yeah,
All right,
idea.
let's do it. The herb bouquet.
Easiest and the most incredible hostess gift you could ever give someone because it involves scent. We collect
amazing.
a lot of vintage vessels, and this is
show you
probably
some.
the most inexpensive thing you could ever do. One thing that I love about doing an herb bouquet in something like a pitcher, because we just find that
They're practical.
they're practical.
They live on and they function.
They function
And they're beautiful
way
for
after
flowers.
your herbs are gone and your hostess gift gets repurposed.
Let's do it.
So, that little vase has always been my favorite, but I feel like I want this guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is another one of my favorites because, of course, it's ironstone, but I love the little bit of gold.
The gold.
Yeah. Which one are you going for?
I'm gonna choose this one.
Okay. Let's move these out of the way so everyone can really see what we're building here, right?
So when we pick out herbs for this particular use, we're looking for different shapes, heights, scale, colors. Like this dill was growing wild on my hillside. Kate brought some from her garden. We got some from the farmer's market. It's really seasonal, so it just depends when you're shopping or cutting from your garden. But just look for a variety of heights and shapes and colors. Just
Right.
like you're designing a flower bouquet, it's the same premise.
This is actually flowering spearmint.
Oh, spearmint.
Yeah.
I love this. So
And
I'm
it's
gonna
so
start with
yummy.
this because it's taller, and I'm gonna start with it as a base to kind
Okay.
of get my foundation.
All right.
What are you gonna start with?
I think I'll start, I love the same thing. I just love how airy this feels. So I am putting in this beautiful oregano, flowering oregano.
I love the scale change. It's very visually pleasing. And I'm just thinking about color that will pop in a lower light. So I'm adding this tarragon kind of to pop at the
love it.
bottom.
I'm using shiso because I also love the change in the leaf size. You know, it's gonna give it some weight with these bigger leaves in it, which is so lovely.
And I'm almost done filling in this bottom layer with this blooming tarragon with this really beautiful yellow,
pretty.
bright orangey yellow that I love.
So I'm gonna add just one more piece of this because I found this beautiful bit that just has this like red tinge to it. You see that? So gorgeous.
And I love how it kind of droops.
And it's a little bit longer. Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah,
this is
yeah.
it. This is what it needed.
And you can see the handle through it. Yeah, because look at how it catches the light.
Exactly, just the tone of that. Look at how beautiful that is. I just love like this fall of this leaf.
Yes.
It's just perfect. And it's so hard to get that
pretty.
to really happen naturally. So take the opportunity when it does, you know?
Feels wild. It feels like you just picked it up out of nature and plopped it in the vase. Just that little extra bit to fill that hole. Spinner. I think we're good. I'm happy. We walk in and everybody smells it, but it's not a perfume smell that takes away from the food. It's an herb smell.
How beautiful is that? And you know what? That will last so long. Change your water, rinse the vase, get all of the slime off of it, and this will last for a good couple of weeks. So gorgeous. Love. Our last host and hostess gift is this beautiful bread and butter board. I think this is the most practical out of the three because I always forget the bread.
You forget the bread.
Always.
She's throwing a beautiful dinner party. I don't have my bread.
I never remember. So here's a beautiful way to think ahead and just bring it anyway. So this gift is gonna come together so easily. You have 5 ingredients basically. You've got a board, you've got some bread, you've got a nice beautiful vintage towel to wrap it up with, something to put your butter in.
Little vintage container or a store-bought container.
Yep. And some beautiful herbs to finish it off with. First, we're gonna select our board. We brought several boards, all vintage.
Slightly different sizes and
Yep.
shapes.
And you don't have to pick too big of a board. You always want maybe just a smaller board so you're walking in with something that isn't, you know, carrying, but something beautiful that they can tuck away and use whenever they want.
So many options to choose from.
Love them all. I do love this one because you've got this crack down the center.
You have a little bit of feet
But in
there.
the back, it doesn't exist. And it's got this beautiful little worn feet on it. The character, it's just—
handle.
It's beautiful. I think this is a good choice.
Sold. Next we have to do is we have to choose the bread. And we have so many to choose from, so many beautiful different types of loaves. And it's really about just what looks best. Like, do you like that? Do you want to cover more of the board?
Only thing I would say when choosing bread, you just want to sort of think about something maybe more savory for a dinner party and something maybe a little more sweet for a brunch if you're bringing a host gift to either one of those events. I love the
Kind of like
baguette on
that.
here. It's so beautiful.
And it gives you some air to tie it up. So I think that probably is going to work beautifully. Do
Yep.
you do one or do you want to do two?
Let's see. It gives it some height.
Yep.
When we
They're bringing-
wrap this up in that towel, they have the little baguette ends stick
Sticking out.
It's kind of fun, kind of whimsical too. We really love that.
It's butter time. So we have two different butters here. A little store-bought container or a little vintage. You know, pack your butter in. Anything will work. Butter works in any container.
Yes, it does.
Fill
Yep.
the tub with butter, and then at the end, we add a little bit of Maldon salt on the top. It adds a little bit of crunch, and we're using unsalted butter, so it just gives you that little flavor on the top. And then to top it off, add an herb. It just brings it up just a little bit, it decorates it a little bit, press it in, voila. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is just cover the butter, because once you wrap it up with a cloth, you don't want the cloth hitting the butter. A little bit of parchment paper, real simple. You wanna get some string?
Yep.
Just however you wanna do it, just to protect the top of the butter.
Yep.
Tie her up. It's a little cute little package. There you go. So you
So
have your
cute.
butter
Yep.
in your little vintage pot. Oh, we're gonna just tuck the butter in.
Yep. So cute.
Ready to be wrapped up.
All right, our last little step here. This is where our vintage tea towel comes into play. So this one I think is too small to really wrap around the entire
Yep.
bread and the board. I think this one actually might even be too small. I love this one so much.
I love how soft it is. I think this
Yeah.
is our winner. This is gonna give us more area to tie. I feel like I'm in France with this one. That's why I like it. You just
Oh,
look at that.
hold the phone. It's so
deliver?
cute, but it's not done. A little bit of herb bouquet.
And let's just add this little bit to stick up right there.
On our last tie, so it's right on top, you want to retie.
Tie it tight there.
bullets.
Oh,
Yes.
look at that. You know what I'm gonna
Man,
do?
that's pretty. Who would not want this?
Who would not want this?
This is gorgeous. What I love is that you're giving them multiple things that are everlasting. A dish towel
Yep.
that's
Breadboard.
beautiful. This will only get better with age. A beautiful board that's already vintage and has a gorgeous patina to it. And then a beautiful little crock that the butter came in and they can
mean, look
continue to
at that.
put their butter in it. And it's just, it's a perfect little gift.
And it smells so delicious handing it to them.
Yeah, this is really special.
Okay, how do you achieve superstar guest? Bring one of these.
So today we showed you 3 beautiful host gifts. First was our beautiful tea time that we did with vintage teacups, just found in beautiful loose tea. Second, we did these beautiful herb bouquets where you just forage herbs, go to your local farmer's market, your local grocery store, and put them in a vintage container. And third is our bread and butter board. Smells so good. With these 3 gifts, you're sure to be the favorite guest at the next dinner party.